Welcome to the dramatic extramarital stories. Today, we embark on a narrative that's both surprising and memorable. A story woven with passion, desire, and the possibility of redemption that transcends the limits of time and tradition. What unfolds when two destinies intersect in an unforeseen manner? Keep your eyes peeled for what's to come. Before we dive in, be sure to tap that like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our enthralling tales. Let's dive in. Though he averted his eyes, I couldn't help but observe the unmistakable outline of the carrot that was clearly visible. Instinctively, I extended my hand and seized it, sensing its solid texture. As I applied a gentle pressure, his defenses crumbled, and he unveiled the carrot completely. He raised me onto the dining table, arranging me with precision. The carrot unexpectedly ended up ensnared in the trap. Initially, its motions were measured and intentional, swaying back and forth, establishing a cadence that resonated in the stillness of the room. Oh, hello, were you present? I was merely reflecting on the occurrences of that evening. Allow me to transport you to the origins of this journey, so you can grasp the way events transpired. Clara here, and I'm 56 years young. Over the last 2 summers, I've been journeying through life as a widow. My late husband, Richard, didn't quite embody the ideal I had envisioned. It may seem harsh to express, yet it is the reality. He was a complex individual, frequently burdened by his own letdowns and inflexible habits. When Richard passed, I believed that segment of my life had come to a close. Love and intimacy felt like echoes from a time long past. My days were filled with nurturing my garden, while evenings were dedicated to the soothing art of knitting, and I would occasionally join my family for gatherings. Life unfolded in a steady rhythm, marked by tranquility, yet it felt undeniably isolating. At that moment, Victor made his entrance. Victor is the grandson of my late husband from his first marriage. At 29, he stands tall, his striking blue eyes reflecting a subtle yet profound intensity. He lingers in my memory from those childhood visits, courteous yet aloof, consistently retreating into his own world. When he arrived to stay for a few weeks that summer, I anticipated the same. He was journeying through on his way to see relatives in the countryside. The initial days passed without any notable incidents. Victor dedicated his days to wandering through the nearby woods or losing himself in books on the porch, while I often found myself gazing at him from the kitchen window, not intrusively, but simply taking in the moment. He carried a subtle melancholy, an unease, as though he was on a quest for an elusive something that remained just out of reach. One afternoon, while I wrestled with a broken garden fence, Victor showed up, tools in hand, eager to lend a hand. He remained quiet, diving straight into his tasks. Observing him, I caught glimpses of a younger Richard, vibrant, resolute, and unwavering. In contrast to Richard's frequent aloofness and irritability, Victor exuded a gentle and attentive demeanor. As the days stretched into weeks, our time together began to grow. As the day faded, we found solace on the porch, enjoying tea while the sun gracefully descended beyond the horizon. We delved into a myriad of topics, exploring his aspirations, my recollections, and the little pleasures and sorrows that shape our existence. His presence brought a sense of ease, a bond that was strange yet profoundly fitting. On a scorching afternoon, I resolved to confront the attic, a realm left undisturbed since Richard's departure. Sunlight illuminated the dust particles that danced in the air while I rummaged through the aged boxes. Victor stood at the threshold, his shirt molded to his back by the oppressive heat. Without a moment's pause, he moved in to assist, easily hoisting the cumbersome trunks. Amidst the boxes, we unearthed vintage photographs. As I shared snapshots from my past, his eyes were drawn to one image in a special way. "You are breathtaking," he remarked, his tone gentle yet heartfelt. As our gazes locked, an unarticulated connection sparked between us, a moment heavy with meaning that caught us both off guard. In an instant, he moved closer, capturing my lips with his. The kiss lingered with uncertainty, as though he anticipated my retreat. Initially taken aback, I felt a stirring deep inside me, and then I kissed him back. The aftermath unfolded in a whirlwind of feelings. His hands rested on my waist, the feeling of his touch coursing up my spine. The light summer dress clung to me, the fabric surrendering to his touch. I felt the urge to pause, to reflect on the boundaries we were transgressing, yet I found myself unable to do so. The prominence of his endowment was unmistakable now. He seemed to sense my uncertainty, gently directing my hand toward it, as if seeking my consent without words. The remainder of the evening unfolded like a tempest of sensations, sounds, and emotions that had long been absent from my life. As we reclined in the aftermath, the weight of what had just transpired started to settle in. As the evening wore on, I attempted to concentrate on preparing dinner, yet his presence loomed large, making it difficult to concentrate. He lingered at the kitchen table, his eyes tracking my every action. As the knife slipped from my grasp, he hurried over to assist me. Our hands grazed, and the fleeting touch ignited a spark within me. "We can't do this," I murmured, my voice barely rising above a whisper. He took his time to respond. Instead, he remained in place, his face a mask of ambiguity. At last, he drew near, bridging the gap that separated us. The next events unfolded with a sense of inevitability. He lifted me onto the table, and as our bodies intertwined once more, I yielded to the moment, fully aware of the complexities it would entail. By the next morning, the weight of our circumstances lingered palpably in the atmosphere. Victor packed his bag, his face a mask of anguish, yet determination. "Are you departing?" I inquired, struggling to articulate the words. He nodded, avoiding my eyes. "I believe this is for the best," he murmured gently. Emotions surged within me, yet I understood he was correct. "What if I wish for you to stay?" He traversed the space, lowering himself to his knees before me. "Clara, you've provided me with something I never realized I was missing, yet this situation feels off, and we both understand that." As he departed, the house resonated with an emptiness more profound than before, yet I couldn't overlook the treasure he had bestowed upon me, a poignant reminder of my existence, of my enduring capacity to feel. As I stood by the window, I observed him fading away down the path, my palm resting against the cool glass. As Victor vanished into the thick woods, his silhouette dissolving like a shadow consumed by daylight, Clara lingered at the window longer than she had anticipated. Her hand lingered on the cool glass, her thoughts circling back to their fleeting yet powerful bond. The house, which had once brimmed with life and warmth, now felt as if it had been emptied, leaving behind a haunting silence that reverberated through its empty halls. The remainder of the day dragged on at a leisurely pace. Clara glided through her chores, her mind lingering on Victor. She meandered into the garden, yearning for the colorful blooms to provide her with a sense of comfort. The sunlight danced upon the petals, their hues vibrant and teeming with vitality, yet they appeared to taunt her sense of void. In the days that followed Victor's departure, Clara struggled to set aside the lingering memories of him. She immersed herself in various activities, mending the fence, tidying up the attic, and preparing baked goods for her neighbors. Every endeavor offered fleeting escapes, yet none could truly occupy the emptiness he had created. At night, she found herself lying awake, gazing at the ceiling, her mind swirling with the events that had unfolded between them. She despised the depth of her longing for him, how the echo of his laughter and the gentle warmth in his green eyes when they met hers haunted her thoughts. The guilt lingered, nibbling at the fringes of her mind. She was grappling with more than just the void left by Victor. She found herself in a deep introspection, pondering her heart's desires, the decisions she had made, and the principles that had guided her for so many years. As time passed, the weeks morphed into months, and the refreshing chill of autumn started to envelop the countryside. The garden, once alive with color, now bore hues of gold and brown. Clara settled onto the porch on a brisk evening, a shawl wrapped around her shoulders, savoring her tea while observing the sun descend beyond the horizon. The stillness enveloped her, and for once, she embraced it. She had started to embrace the idea that life would continue, despite the burden she bore. Her days shifted from mourning to a journey of rediscovery. Victor had awakened within her a sense she believed was gone for good, the capacity to feel profoundly, to open herself up, and to welcome the uncertainties of life. One morning, while Clara was organizing the kitchen, she spotted a letter perched on the edge of the table. The penmanship was unmistakable. Her heart raced as she ripped open the envelope, the paper quivering in her grasp. "Dear Clara, I'm uncertain about whether I should put this down on paper. Perhaps it's a bit self-centered, but not a day has gone by since I departed that you haven't crossed my mind. I believed that creating some space between us would be beneficial, that it would simplify matters. Yet, it has only served to highlight the depth of my feelings for you. Clara, you are truly an extraordinary woman in every sense. You have endured countless experiences, shouldered immense burdens, and yet you continue to discover the beauty that exists around you. Your presence has transformed something within me. It dawned on me just how much of my existence has been devoted to seeking something elusive, something I couldn't quite articulate. And now I realize I was on a quest for you. The future remains a mystery to me, and I won't feign having all the solutions. Yet, if there's the slightest possibility of reconnecting, I'm ready to make the effort. Next month, I'll be making my way through town. If you wish to meet, I'll be at the old oak tree by the riverbank on the first Sunday of November, patiently waiting. If that's the case, I will comprehend. Regardless of the circumstances, I want you to understand that encountering you and becoming acquainted with you has been the most precious blessing in my life. Yours sincerely, Victor." Clara held the letter tightly against her heart, her pulse quickening with anticipation. She perused it repeatedly, every word igniting a whirlwind of feelings inside her. She contemplated the dangers, the intricacies, and the possible repercussions. Yet she reflected on how Victor had made her feel acknowledged, appreciated, and truly vibrant. With November drawing near, Clara stood at a pivotal juncture. The rational side of her advocated for prudence, echoing the possibility of suffering. Yet another aspect, the one rekindled by Victor, murmured an alternate reality. Life was fleeting, and joy was a gamble worth taking. On the first Sunday of November, Clara strolled down to the riverbank, her heart racing with each step she took. The ancient oak tree stood tall, its skeletal branches reaching out defiantly towards the muted sky. And there, standing beneath its canopy, was Victor. He turned as she approached, his face lighting up with a mixture of hope and relief. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then, without a word, Clara stepped into his arms, the weight of their emotions dissolving in the warmth of their embrace. This chapter in Clara's life was far from conventional, and it would never be easy. But as she stood there, wrapped in Victor's arms, she knew one thing for certain. Some connections were worth the complications, worth the risk, and worth everything. And that's how this unexpected and emotional chapter came to a close. Life has a way of surprising us, even when we least expect it, leaving us with memories that linger forever. If this story resonated with you or left you wanting more, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Infidelity Tales for more stories that delve into the complexities of human relationships. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the untold tales of life.